Great. Now we are able to understand what tokens are. So let's come to this particular example, which is unbelievable. So once again, I will go to my Hugging Face, and over here, I'm going to type the unbelievable word. And you see, I have typed this. And if you see the below, you see unbelievable word is not treated as the entire word. It is not capturing the way it is breaking down in tokens is. So for like space UN, it's a one particular token. For Billy is one particular token, and for Weibull, it's another token. For the model Llama 3, let's say if I go to GPT-4, you see for the GPT-4 also, the way it is treating in this way, right? So unbelieve and Weibull, it's a three different tokens inside the one word, and that's why you can think a tokens as a Lego blocks. Now let's move ahead. As of now, you are able to understand what tokens are, but you know it's really also important to understand the more number of tokens you are going to send to GPT or any kind of model, the more number of charges you are going to get into your account. So each and every token which you are going to send to any kind of LLM, okay, you can say tokens which you are going to send to LLM, they are directly going to cost you money. Okay, so it's very essential the number of tokens you are sending to LLM. And okay, so LLMs, sorry, tokens which are going inside the LLM, tokens which are going inside your LLM, and the tokens which is coming out of the LLM. So meaning the tokens which is being generated, tokens being generated by LLM, both are gonna cost you some kind of money. Okay, we as a normal human, we call it as okay, GPT is producing some kind of text, but in at their end they are not producing some kind of text, they are producing tokens. And once the tokens are being produced, we just gonna say okay, let's suppose if the tokens produce are this, I like artificial intelligence, oh sorry, if the tokens produce are like this 401093 and this entire number, so at the front end we are just gonna map these tokens to already pre-trained words. Okay, because at the time of training we know that okay, these are the different tokens associated, these are the different words, right? So in the front end we are just going to show those words, but essentially behind the scene these tokens are being you can say predicted by the LLM. Now, since the cost is associated with number of tokens we are sending to the LLM and the number of tokens being generated by the LLM, so we should be very thoughtful whenever we are choosing the LLM. We should always go and check the cost per token for the input, and also like cost which is associated for the output token. So as an applied AI engineer, you should always think about this. Now let me show you some of the platform. So you see I'm like on my OpenAI API pricing page. If you see for the model like GPT 5.5, you go over here, you see input is like $5 per 1 million tokens. So meaning of this what is what, like if you are going to send 1 million token to your this particular model GPT 5.5, you will be charged $5, right? So usually they LLM providers generally they charge amount per million tokens. So this is for the only input token. There is something called as cached input. So cached input is it's like kind of they are gonna cache your some of the prompt or some of your tokens. So for that also they are gonna charge some kind of money. So it's 0.50 dollar per 1 million tokens. So if they're gonna cache 1 million tokens, right? When I say prompt, you can consider the prompt as a token only, because now we are talking about a technical terms, right? So if they're gonna cache, and why they generally do the caching, because they want to improve your accuracy. So sometimes they also do caching of the tokens. So if they're not gonna do some kind of caching, so for that also they're gonna charge 0.50 dollar per 1 million token of caching. And if you see for the any kind of LLM, the input and cache input token price is not very high, but output token price is very high. You see they are charging $30 for per 1 million tokens the LLM is gonna be generating. Okay, so you should be always mindful that you choose a LLM which can do your task. At the same time, it should not go very much in terms of costing. Whereas if you see the GPT 5.4, you see the input is only $2.50 per 1 million token, and output is also like $15 per 1 million token, right? And the cash is like same. Also, this is also less, $0.25. So you can just go through this kind of pages, and we'll try to just try to understand what the different LLMs is charging in terms of input, in terms of output tokens. Similarly, you can go to Gemini page. You see now I'm on a Gemini page, and here like Gemini models are also has given this information. So this is for input price, it's $0.25, right? And this is also like per million token, okay? And if you see the output price, it is almost $1.50 for the output tokens, and it's like for per 1 million token, okay? And also like I have opened this one more page, which is Azure OpenAI. So if your organization is using Azure OpenAI models, so for them also the prices are available. You see, for example, the models like ChatGPT 5.3, Chat Global, they are costing us $1.75, and the pricing is for 1 million per million token, and output is like $14. So you can go through all the pages of the different LLMs. So let's suppose if you are going to plan to use the Azure OpenAI LLMs or Gemini LLMs, or maybe OpenAI LLMs, so all the pricing are available, and as an applied AI engineer you should always be thoughtful while choosing the LLM.